wonder, did Alexander Hamilton and George Washington forget about us? I don't think they did it on purpose. I think it was just an oversight. When they said that we the people, and I'll stop there and talk about we the people. As quiet as it is kept, what could have been the tradition of yesterday, of course we embrace that, but in order for you to have a tomorrow, you've got to do something today. Because of the impact that you all have made and being those scholarly persons that have been set aside, you can't stop now. You're building your futures, and you're also making an impression on just not the people who will be awarding you tonight, but your peers that you'll walk down in the school building next week. Everyone is looking at you. There's a difference between having an identity and having an image. Your image is how people view you. Your image is who you are when people label you. But your integrity, or your identity rather, is who you are when no one else is looking. Oftentimes, whenever we introduce ourselves or we meet new people, they always add, the first thing that they always say is they never tell us who they are. They always tell us who and what they have done. But you ought to make sure that whoever you are, because it's the good thing about it, you might as well be yourself, everybody else is taken. So whenever you develop and grow a true identity, don't waver from it. Know who you are and be confident in who you are. Not conceited, but confident in who you are. Never let anybody dictate to you how and where your life will end. Never allow someone to make themselves project on you what they wish they could have been, but now they're living their lives through you. Never do that. Be comfortable in the decisions that you make. Be willing to take constructive criticism. Be open to those who will help you. Because everything that we have, we didn't get it because of who we knew. We didn't get it because of what we knew. But sometimes we got it because of where we were. Sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time. So congratulations once again. I always enjoy stories. So let me share this story with you. There was a story told about this lady who was living in this upscale apartment. She was raising some children. She put the children to sleep that night and decided that she was going to walk down the street to the store. While she left the children in the bed, she also left a pot of water on the stove. So, as she was walking back home, she noticed all of these emergency vehicles rushing towards her apartment. A little concerned, not knowing that it was actually her house that was on fire. When she finally reached there, she got close enough, and the fireman stopped her and said, "Ma'am, you cannot go upstairs. You cannot go upstairs. The fire's too hot." She says, "But what you don't understand is that I left them children upstairs." She says, "And those are my children I left upstairs." He says, "Ma'am, you cannot go, but we'll go up and get them for you." She says, "Those are my children." But she got close enough to a window and lives where the children could hear her voice, and she hollered and said, "If you can hear me," she said, "I want you to jump out the best way you can." The child says, "How are we going to jump out? What are we going to stand on?" She says, "There's some books stacked up over in the corner." She says, "Grab one of those books." He says, well, there's just a math book over there. He stood on that and he said, but it's full of problems. Saw a science book over there. Tried to stand on that, but he said, I really don't understand the study of life. And there was a history book over there. He says, Mama, it's just repeating itself. I really can't do nothing with that. Looked around and there was a literature book or a reading book or an AR book. And he said, it's just too many pages. But she says, but there is one more book that you forgot to stand on. He says, you mean that book that's packed in with 66 other books? She says, yes. Stand on that book. What am I trying to say? Is that there's always one more book. When other books fail, there's one more book. And I wish I could preach right there. But I think you already know what that book is called. Stand on it, depend on it, lean on it, let it be your guide. Because good, better, best, you should never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Have an awesome evening. Thank you so much.